speaking of generations, I'll flash you back again. About a year ago, I got a text from my friend Amy, who I went to high school with. And she had a picture. She had sent me a picture of one of my best friends from high school, probably my best friend in high school, Brian Thomas. You've heard me talk about him.
He of the basement and the videos and the movies.
Yes. We would go to his basement and watch Friday the 13th and Faces of Death and whatever else. You know, it was just unbelievable. And we'd eat pizza by the yard and pass gas and make jokes.
And
giggle and laugh. And really, by the time, we got to be 14, 15, 16, disgusting boys down there. Down in his basement, just anything goes. So now Brian, who was my best friend, has turned into a guy who loves to go and follow rock bands. He has seen Metallica many, many times. And sometimes I'll see him on social media or in person, and he's wearing a Metallica shirt. So a year ago, our mutual friend Amy from high school sent me a photo of him with Dave Grohl down in a mosh pit. They were at a Metallica show, and the caption was that she sent the message. She's like, "Can you believe who Brian Thomas? Can you believe this picture of Brian Thomas?" And see, I didn't know who Dave Grohl was. Okay, I didn't know that. So it's him standing with Dave Grohl. Well, Brian, since I had seen him last, had grown a long gray beard. And I thought she was commenting on the long gray beard. Like, can you believe this photo of Brian Thompson? I thought Dave Grohl was a regular guy. I didn't know who that was.
Just another Metallica
Just another
fan.
guy down in a pit.
You thought she was talking smack.
Well, I just basically thought, look how he's changed. He's grown this long gray beard. So I wrote back and was like, yeah, that's Brian.
Yeah.
No idea. And she's like, and then she wrote back, is he the luckiest guy in the world or what? And I thought, I'm missing something.
Well, lots of people can grow beards.
Some people, yeah.
So you know what?
I mean, some struggle to have it fill in correctly. His looks good.
It does. And I thought, I'm missing something here. So
Yes.
a day later, I took the picture to some colleagues, namely Chris, Demm, Biggie, and Dave. And I said, I know one of these guys. Do you know the other?
What am I missing?
What am I missing here? And they were like, well, that's somebody famous. And I said,
Really famous.
Who? And you all said, well, that's Dave Grohl. And I was like, oh, Foo Fighters. Yeah, right. Okay. So now apparently that got back to Amy. And here we are a year later, and she sends me a picture again, almost the exact same photo. Brian Thomas, now with another guy that I don't know. And she says, I know I threw you for a loop with that last picture of Brian Thomas and Dave Grohl. Hint, he took his niece to see this concert, and he's with a guy in a concert, and I don't know who it is.
Now, in this picture, the other guy is holding a microphone.
That's right. And it's like he's interviewing him or something. That's what it looks like. Great photo. And the thing about Brian is he and I always were different in school and everything. He always had a great time, no matter what. He was always like easygoing.
You can see it in that image.
Look at his face. In all these. And what does he do now? Follows rock bands and has fun.
What do you do?
I was different. I was always like, be more studious, do this.
Don't have fun.
Don't have fun. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? All these things.
Your fun now is 4 hours on a small court hitting a small ball back and forth, followed by immediately going to bed. Backbreaking work. Yes, that's right. Brian Thomas is following rock bands around the country, and including this guy who I don't know, but Chris Demm said, I think it might be a new kid on the block. And then, upon further investigation, there's a woman standing behind them with a New Kids on the Block logo on her shirt.
A clue. Yeah.
That's right. So
they're all grows up.
So now, Brian and I are their age exactly.
And how old were the new kids the same age?
I think they're about maybe 3 years older now. They were in their probably late teens, early 20s when we were in high school. One of them I remember was real young, like our age or even younger, like 15 when I was 17.
He looks like the youngest one.
Okay.
The photograph that I'm seeing.
Biggie says it is a new kid on the block. Who is it? Okay, I know that it's Danny, Donnie, Joe, John, Jordan. I'll say Jordan Knight.
No. It's Joey McIntyre.
That's Joey McIntyre. He's the most famous of the new kids.
Yeah.
I think.
You could argue that Donnie Wahlberg, he does have an acting career as well.
Okay.
Joey was always the he's the youngest, and I think he was always kind of the favorite among.
I agree.
Yeah. He's the baby face.
All of my girlfriends loved Joey McIntyre.
Now I'll tell you this, Jordan Knight, I'd say is kind of he was always like the front, the face.
Yeah. One of them was like the ugly one. The girls I knew didn't like him.
I believe that was Danny.
It was Danny.
Danny's kind of.
He was the oldest, I think.
Danny and Jonathan were always just kind of like numbers 4 and 5.
Yeah, right.
You know, you had. I'd probably say one was Jordan Knight. I'd consider him the front.
You do.
Then Joey was number 2. The women loved him.
They did.
Then Donnie was the bad boy. He was number 3.
Yes.
And then the other 2 were just there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, lucky, really.
Yeah, one was older, and all my friends that I knew, like the girls, were like, he's ugly, but they loved Joey McIntyre. Young and good looking. I have to admit to Amy, I do not know this person.
How do you think the performer ended up in the audience with your buddy?
Who knows? My friend Brian Thomas just gets access to all that. I don't know how. Ironically, I took my niece to see New Kids on the Block in 1988. I mean, when she was 8 and I was 19, and we went to see New Kids on the Block.
She was what you call a beard back then. Your niece.
Yeah, I guess. We went to see. I mean, did I enjoy it? Sure. Yeah. I enjoyed that.
It was for you.
Yeah, it was.
Would you like to guess how old currently the hot young Joey McIntyre is now?
I would say he's probably 51 because he's right around my age.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Okay. I remember there was one guy in the band that was a little younger, and he was the youngest, and I think that's it.
Which I think because everybody else is 54, 55.
That's
in the
right.
band.
And
but it's funny to think back when they were popular. You know, he was
15.
15, so he was the baby.
Oh yeah, no question about it. So there we are, all grows up, the three of us. Me and Joey McIntyre and Brian Thomas. That's right. And Brian's still got that good beard going. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's my commentary.
Notice the niece didn't make the picture.
No, I don't know where the niece is. Who knows where the niece is? And the niece may be 40. I have no idea. You know,
yeah,
but but she says he took his niece to see this. So I'll bet. But who would have thought, when I was young, like as a guy, all the other guys, they hated New Kids on the Block. Oh, this is pop.
It was girl music.
It was girl music. They hated it. And when they burned out, when they were done, it was like a huge backlash against them. Like nobody liked them anymore. Now they've come back. When they got together 10 years ago or whenever, it comes back.
Now they're on tour every single summer now.
Yes.
They sell out. It seems.
Well, look, this is a big
Yeah. I mean, they're at every amphitheater touring, and they always bring some other 80s acts with them.
Yeah.